You know, on the surface, it looks like big tech just had one of its best quarters in history. But if you look just below those record-breaking numbers, you'll find a completely different story. One of the biggest and fastest shifts of money the world has ever seen.
So let's start with Apple. They just posted an absolutely staggering $143.8 billion in revenue. And that's for a single quarter. I mean, that's not just a good number, it's an all-time record for the company, period.
So you have Apple's CEO, Tim Cook, celebrating this performance, and he's right to. It was driven by this unprecedented demand for the iPhone. It's a story of incredible success, but it's a story focused entirely on the products of today.
But then, on the very same day, another CEO was making headlines for a totally different reason. Meta's Mark Zuckerberg wasn't just talking about last quarter's results, he was looking ahead, talking about building superintelligence for every single person on the planet. What a contrast, right?
And that contrast, well, that's the key to understanding what's really going on here, because the headline story is deceptively simple. It wasn't just Apple. No, Microsoft and Meta also reported absolutely mind-blowing growth and profits.
I mean, just look at the consistency here. Massive revenues, double-digit growth right across the board. These numbers make it seem like it's just business as usual. But the real story isn't about the money they're making, it's about where all that money is going next.
And that just raises a fascinating question, doesn't it? If these companies are already this successful, this dominant, why on earth are they all spending money like they're in a frantic race for their very survival?
Well, the answer is a phenomenon that we're calling the Great Capital Rotation. And this is the hidden story behind all those record-breaking headlines. Now, this isn't just some minor budget adjustment. We are talking about a once-in-a-generation decision to move truly titanic sums of money, billions, maybe even trillions of dollars, away from established projects, even away from human payroll, and into one all-consuming goal, building the future of AI.
And we don't even have to guess that this is happening. By treating these quarterly earnings reports like a trail of evidence, we can actually follow the money and see this rotation happening in real time.
Okay, just take a look at this number. This is what Meta plans to spend on capital expenditures, that's things like servers, data centers, AI chips, in the year 2026 alone, a jaw-dropping $115 to $135 billion. And to put that into perspective, their spending is projected to nearly double in a single year, jumping from an already massive $72 billion in 2025. This isn't gradual growth, this is an absolute explosion. So where's that money coming from? Well, you can see that losses from Reality Labs, their Metaverse division, are holding pretty steady at around $19 billion. But that investment in AI infrastructure, it's skyrocketing to $125 billion. They aren't just adding a new priority, they are fundamentally reorienting the entire company.
And guess what? It's the same story over at Microsoft. Their cloud division just crossed $50 billion in a single quarter, which is incredible. But look at the driver. Their Azure revenue grew by a staggering 39%, fueled almost entirely by customer demand for AI services. AI isn't just a feature, it is becoming their core engine of growth.
So what about Apple, the company famous for its hardware? Well, even they are part of this rotation. Their quarterly research and development spending jumped by over $2.5 billion year over year. Now, Apple is famously secretive, but a massive R&D increase like this, it strongly suggests a huge investment in their own AI ambitions, just to keep up.
So when you put it all together, this is the single biggest, fastest reallocation of resources we have seen in the tech industry in over a decade. Which brings us back to the most important question of all. Why? Why now?
The answer is simple and honestly a little terrifying. We are witnessing the very beginning of a technological arms race, one that is going to define the 21st century.
You know, Microsoft's CEO Satya Nadella put it perfectly. He said this is just the beginning phase of AI, and yet it's already a business larger than some of their most established products. The opportunity is so massive that no one can afford to be left behind.
And this race has 3 clear stages. First, you secure all the computing power you can possibly get your hands on. Second, you use that power to develop these massive foundational AI models. And third, you integrate that intelligence into every single product and service you offer. They aren't just building an app, they are building the next foundational layer of our entire global economy.
But this historic shift in capital, it isn't just some abstract financial story. It has profound implications for our future, and for what it will actually feel like to live in the world they are building right now.
I mean, think about it. The world we live in right now, the way we work, communicate, and entertain ourselves was almost entirely shaped by the last major tech revolution, the one that was built on a foundation of the microchip and the smartphone screen.
This leaves us with a final, provocative thought. These companies, with their trillions of dollars, are now pouring all of their resources into building a new foundation. And it raises the ultimate question for all of us. What will our world look like when it's built not on silicon and glass, but on a foundation of pure intelligence?